In this step, we're going to cover attacking on the ground. Now, we already covered the defenses and the position. On the same token, when I'm attacking, I got to establish positions before I'm attacking. Now, as an Haganah practitioner, I'm going to want to damage him as fast as possible and get back up. However, I'm going to have to transit into a neutralization before I damage him. If I simply start throwing techniques and I did not neutralize the position, him as a grappler, he can take over. Therefore, I'm going to have to neutralize first by position. The first techniques will work out of the side. I ended up on the side. So if I simply now try to get up and he shoots for my legs, either grapevines with the legs or either with his hands, then he's going to pull me back up. I'm going to damage him first before I stand back up again. Okay, coming from the side, the first thing I'm going to have to do is neutralize the position. Again, I'm going to use my knee and put it right by his hip. Right by his hips, so I maintain control and I prevent him from coming in with the legs and grapevine in. This will make sure that Justin, try to move this way, Justin, that he can come in. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to have to establish. Second thing, chest on chest. You're going to put your chest on his chest to smother him and to put all your leverage on him. After you got the chest on chest, you're going to go right here by the neck. Put your hand here. Now, it is important that you always neutralize the bite. A lot of people start fighting on the ground, even not intending to bite because they're panicking or because the nature of the position, they're going to start biting you. So when I come here, I'm going to put the hand nice and tight, nice and tight. If I have it loose, all Justin has to do, he can bite me right here. See, as an Haganah practitioner, Justin went to bite where there's a shirt. Or maybe the guy on the street is going to bite you right here by the arm, and then he takes a chunk out of you. So in other words, I'm going to make sure that my hand is nice and tight. Try to bite now, Justin. Now, Justin cannot bite. As soon as I got that secured, I'm going to bring his whole head to my other knee. In other words, I'm right here, and I contain him nice and tight. From here, I'm going to have to control this hand by simply hugging it, or maybe it'll end up on this side and hugging it here. And I need to control that he cannot poke my eyes with the other hand, or the other hand, or the other hand. So I'm going to shove my forehead in his chest, and I'll have to move with it. So in other words, I'm coming here, and Justin tries to get my eyes, and he simply can't poke me in the eyes. Only when I neutralize that whole position, I can start going to work. If I go to work prior to that, it's not going to work because he's going to take over and transit into another position. So you're going to have to maintain that. Now, as soon as you got that, of course, he's fighting in the process. In other words, he's trying to move around. You're going to have to struggle, contain him, and as soon as you feel that he's pausing for a second or it's like you feel nice control, then, only then you go to work. All right, I've established my position. Now I can start going to work. As soon as I got everything nice and tight, the first thing I'm going to do is short circuit him in the groin. I'm going to start attacking that groin just so I get all his attention down here so he forgets about trying to poke me in the eyes or try to bite me. So all his attention is circled down here. As soon as I have him on the groin, I'm going to use that hand that's hanging there against him. I'm just going to grab it and just slap it on the ground. As I slap it on the ground, it's going to start short-circuiting into right here. All right, as soon as I got that on the ground, I'm going to switch to the other side. Now, it's important that you don't fish for the hand and you lose here and he starts biting you. You bring the hand to you. Do not fish for it. I bring the hand to me by 1, 2, and bring it here. As soon as I got here, I'm going to grab his hand with my thumb here. I'm plugging. Don't grab here. Again, if he starts struggling, he's going to grind that thumb right into the ground and the asphalt. Make sure it's right here. So anything is on the ground is his body right here. As soon as I got this, I'm going to come up, pick up the elbow here so I don't scrape my hand here. Now again, if he's fighting and he's struggling, you can still hit him in the process as he goes. You keep short-circuiting until you have everything nice and tight. From here, I'm coming underneath, and I'm grabbing as close as possible to my wrist. Don't go here. As close as possible to my wrist. And the first thing you're going to do is jilt inside. When you jilt, you're telling him you're in charge. And also, you're basically tighten up everything. From here, again, I'm going to rip his shoulder. Now, in training, he's going to tap. Remember, in the street, he taps you out, that's him giving you a compliment. You're doing great, keep going, okay? So in other words, when he taps you out, rip, do not stop. After you're done ripping, you're gonna come here, hit him again, put your hands on his chest, hit the groin, pop yourself out, and come out. Remember, when you're doing your transition to going back upstairs, you need to occupy the line when you back up. In other words, you're done breaking everything. As you disconnect, hit the hand again. Yes, you ripped it, but hit again. Hit here, hit here. Put your weight on his chest, pop yourself up. If anything happens now, you can still fish for an armbar or go to work. And coming out. Remember that it's important that you neutralize the position before you start going to work. If I simply came to the side and start hitting, Justin could have did what I taught in the defensive part of this series. If I would have go straight to a choke, same thing. What I'm doing is I'm first neutralizing all his weapons. Then I start going to work. I established the mount position. Now again, my objective is to damage as fast as possible and get back upstairs so I can deal with multiple attacker and so I don't get into the liabilities of the ground, of him deploying a weapon. I want to do my job and get out. Okay, the first thing I'm going to hit is the middle. Right here, I'm just going to give him a shot in the middle. Now remember, I said earlier, in the Haganah system, you're going to have to learn to be effective in tight motion. Don't pull it all the way here. If you pull all the way here, he's going to close. You want to shock him right here. That will give him a jilt. Boom, right here. And now you can start attacking the head. You're going to give 2 shots to the head. Why? If I start hitting him in the face and he starts blocking, or maybe he's crunching his head and I get to the forehead, I do not want to damage my hands when I back up and maybe I have to deal with multiple attackers. So don't get into a punching free that you're having a good time here and you're keeping damaging your own hand actually on the opponent. So it's 1 to the chest tight, 1, 2. As soon as you did 2, in case he blocked, you'll have to peel it first. If you got in for free, in other words, he didn't block, you don't have to peel, all right? From here, it'll be an elbow. You're going to drop an elbow. So you got 4 beats, 1 in the middle, 1, 2. He's blocking, peel it, elbow down. As soon as you're done with the elbow, I'm going to grab his head. 1, 2, 3. After you hit him 3 times, you will have 2 options. You'll have the options to get back up, or you'll have the options to terminate him. If you back up from this position, you want to back up sideways again. We always want to back up sideways. I want to avoid going straight back out or going straight over there, because then he can either entangle me with his hands or his legs. I always want to go to the side, okay? After I banged him on the head, I'm going to put my hands on his chest and I'm going to pop myself up, okay? That will give me the option, if he still has any fight in him, that if he reach out with a hand, I can go and take an armbar, or I can transit to something else. If he didn't, in other words, if he's completely out, that's fine, but I took my precaution. 1 here, pop out. As I come out, always kick. I don't care if he's completely out, always kick and come out. Now we're going to address the issue, what if he turns as I attack him? I went to punch Justin and he blocked. I'm going to rip it up, peel it off 1, 2, 3, maybe break his neck and come up. Sometimes as you go to work, he's going to turn out of defense. In other words, his instinct was to turn. If Justin decides to turn, don't try to yank him back. It's good that he turns. Anytime somebody gives you the back on the ground, go ahead and let them turn. But you're going to have to do it in level of transitions. In other words, I went here and Justin starts turning. As he turns, I'm going to let him turn. But I'm going to come to this position. Watch again. I'm here. I go to punch him. He turns. I scoot and I bring this leg right here. My knee is going to be right behind him. And I'm going to sit on myself. Right now, I'm preventing him to come back. Try to come back, Justin. He can't come back. In other words, he only has two options. Either keep rolling or either I work from here. As soon as he turns sideways, bingo, he gave me the triangle again. That triangle, start hitting him right in the neck. You don't have to choke him out. Just start hitting in the neck and this and that. From here, if he continues to turn as a defense of that, let him turn. Let him turn, and now you got the back. As soon as you got the back, he's all yours. You can choke him out, you can hit him, you can bang him on the asphalt. It doesn't matter. So if somebody tries to turn, go ahead and let them turn. It's okay, but you're going to have to do it in transition so you don't lose him. So as he turns, comes in, one here. This has to be tight. If I give room, he can go underneath with the hand and flip me over, and we start all over again. Okay? You got to be right here. Remember to short circuit him. Don't go into just running around grappling. In other words, start hitting. You hit here, you hit here, you hit anywhere you want. As you start hitting, see, victimize him, he's going to turn even more. And then he'll give you your back. So remember, don't go into just grappling around. Use your weapons. Your weapons are there. Start hitting with your weapons. Again, he ended up in your guard. You have to inflict damage before you get back up. I'm not playing the game of the submissions. I don't have time to do so because then the multiple attackers are going to start pouring in. I need to inflict damage. If he stays upstairs at a 90 degree and puts his hand here to prevent you to come up, he's probably experienced and he knows what he's doing. You're going to have to attack the knees again. Come here, use your knuckles and bring him in. Also, bring him in with your legs. In other words, that's going to bring me in. Anytime you bring him in with your legs, you're going to shield yourself with the elbow. So he eats that elbow and come in. That will expose also the neck. Start attacking that neck. Just hit the neck. Okay, as soon as he's in, you're going to bring him in. And you're going to start attacking with your knuckles. Right there as your knuckles. Now you'll have the fingers. As soon as he gives you fingers, I want you to squeeze. Squeeze. You give him instant arthritis. Squeeze. And from here, I'm going to pull right there. As I pull right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the leverage to open up. And from here, I can dig my leg right here. Therefore, I can start working. Now he's going to expose his head. From here, I get in and I can wrench him. Why? Because even if he gets terminated on me, I can pull out easy. Okay, from here, I got a termination or take him out to this side. Again. Okay, so one thing overlaps the other. I'm here, bring him in, he's in. Start hitting, get the fingers. I get the fingers, I bring them together. Pull out. Right now, I'm short-circuiting right here. From here again, ear, head, terminate him, or you'll end up again here. 1, 2, rip it out, open. 1, 2, 3. Pump up and come out. So some of the techniques will interact with the other as you start working. When you get to the guard, naturally, when you dump him, you're going to want to ride the ride and end up on the top as far as mounting position. So again, he came in, bring him into your elbow, hit him, bring him in and start hitting. So he gives you the fingers. If you only simply bring him in, he's comfortable there. He's going to start working his submission in his position. If you start hitting, you victimize him, and he's going to start giving you those fingers. Squeeze in, 1. Right now, you're going to open that guard and put your foot right here. I'm going right here. That gives me the ear. Come in and schlag him out. This time, I put him in the guard, and he decided to stand up. If Justin stands up, the worst thing I want to do is hang on to him, because then he'll simply pick me up and slam me on the concrete, which will completely shock me, and then he'll get a freebie for the rest of the engagement. Therefore, when Justin goes up, what I'm going to do is go up. I'm going to open up and bring my knees in. Watch again. I open up my legs. I let him be. I let him go up, and I close my legs. I'm closing my knees in, so if he decides to start shooting punches, that will give me a shield. He can't reach me. Okay, again. As he comes in, he goes up, go, and here. Okay, now you're going to have to contain your opponent, which is one of the principles of Haganah. If I let him loose, he's going to come back again with something else not good. I want to take advantage of this position. Come back down again. Okay, as he goes up, go up. I'm going to grab the heel right here. I'm going to grab the heel right here or right here. It doesn't matter. One of the side, doesn't matter which side. As I grab the heel, I'm going to push my knees into his chest and sweep from underneath. Now, as I do so, I'm going to hang on to him wherever I can. By the shirt, here if I can reach, or if he's still holding on here. And what I'm doing is I'm going one, and I'm riding it. And from here, I'm back to 1, 2, peeling, elbow, 1, 2, 3, and into whatever objection. So again, this will give me a transaction into taking a better position. Again. Justin is here. He decides to go up. I let him be. Knees together. Grab one of the heels, doesn't matter which one. Grab one of the heels, doesn't matter which one. And you're going to push up and ride it. In other words, you ride it. From here, 1, 2, peel it off. Elbow, 1, 2, 3. 1, up. On the way out, kick. And basically, you're combining two strategies at the same time because you had a transition from one to the other. This time I'm going to end up in Justin's guard. Okay, for obvious reasons, I'm going to avoid getting pulled back in. In other words, if I let Justin pull me in with the legs, now he can go to work with the same techniques that we covered in the defense tape, the one before. In other words, I want to avoid that. I want to keep a 90 degree. That will be done by me putting my hand here, so he cannot pull me in or he cannot come up and attack me. In other words, I am preventing from doing so. As soon as I got that, I'm going to bring this knee, the knee on the side, right in the middle. Again, I'm bringing it up right in the middle. As I do so, I can short circuit and insert shots as well. Okay, so again, I'm coming 1, 2, maybe hit him. From here, I'm going to pull this leg back and catch the leg. Now, if you have, for any reason, a struggle, let's say he's very strong, he's much bigger than you, all you got to do is 1, 2. If you can, hit him in the groin, he'll open up, trust me. From here, I caught this here, I'm going to have this hand to work with. If I simply do this, Justin will come up and he'll start attacking and I'm in trouble. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to compensate this hand with my knee right here. If right now Justin tries to come up, it prevents him from doing so. From here, I'm going to simply swing this leg and sit back. Okay, I end up dragging him with me, that's fine. Again, I'm here, first thing, 1 here. Prevent him to get into a good transition. In other words, if I try to hit him now, he brings me in and Justin goes to work. And the grappler will eat you up. I'm going to put my hand here to maintaining 90 degree. I'm staying 90 degree in relationship to my opponent. From here, that knee in the middle, scoot back here. He doesn't give it to you, opening up, he'll open up. From here, I put my knee in. Again, I'm going to swing right back, and I'm sitting. As soon as I'm here, I want to keep this closed. If I keep it open, he can shoot me inside the legs or find my groin. I keep it closed, everything is bone. It's not going to be able to damage me that much, so I keep it right in. From here, I'm going to catch a heel hook. Right here to here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hand underneath. This part of the hand right here, the edge part of the hand is going to go right behind his leg right here. Right behind his leg right here. So this part is going to dig right here. As soon as I have it here, if you have a struggle to get there, push the heel and bring it in, no problem. Again, bring it in and heel. From here, I'm going to grab my hands together and I'm going to tighten it up to me first. I'm bringing it here to me first. As soon as I got it tight, I'm going to move my body, not my hands, my body, and rip his heel out, rip his heel out. Again, at this point, he's going to tap out. Anytime he taps out at you on the street, he's telling you you're doing great, keep ripping it off. In other words, one, and right here, as soon as you did that, you basically ripped his heel out, ankle is demolished, all you got to do is move him out, and out you go. He can't stand no more, you completely neutralized him. Okay, I got Justin into a side. This will happen a lot after a throw or you ended up in this position. Okay, the first thing I got to do is tighten up the position. And I got to watch out for that hand coming here and start poking me in the eye or maybe grabbing my ear and start going to work. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to dig my face into his face so I short-circuit him. So he starts thinking like a victim. So I'm coming here. This end here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze everything and I'm going to go starting clockwise and tighten up everything. So I also stay away from his legs. So again, I'm here, tighten up everything and coming. In the process, I'm going to start shooting. So I start short-circuiting him. 1, 2, 3, and as I move. Okay, don't only get stuck into choking him. Start working. Now, as you start working, either Justin is going to bring his hand here and I can grab it here, or either his hand is going to be here and he's going to try to push me off into what we worked on the prior tape with the defense. So I'm going to either have to work from here or either work from here. I'm starting to work from here. In other words, I'm shooting here and his hand comes in reach of me grabbing right here. Again, I'm one here, and right now I can grab that hand. As soon as I have this hand, I only have one hand to worry about. I'm going to keep short-circuiting him here until I can rip right here. Okay, what I'm doing is one, and I'm coming back right here. Again, as soon as he taps out, that's him telling me I'm doing great. Rip it. As soon as I got it ripped, one, out. Again, push on the chest, out we go, kick, and out I go. Again, I'm here. I'm starting to hit. He protects. I can grab it here. From here, underneath here, rip it. Rip it. As I rip it, he's going to tap out. Ignore it. One here. From here, continue. Turn yourself. Out I go. Kick. And out I go. That's in case he gives you that hand. In other words, that hand went here from the shooting. Sometimes he's going to have it here, and he's going to fight you back, and you're going to have to work from here because right now he's more defensive about it, and he's a little bit more educated about it. Obviously, you're dealing with somebody that has more experience on the ground right now, and what Justin is going to try to establish is to push me off and bring that leg over like we worked on the defense. I'm going to have to prevent that. As soon as I see that he's not protecting his face here and he's trying to establish a better position here, I am going to know that he's more educated and he's going to go for that counter. All right, I'm going to have to shortcut that. Now, I can't hit here because he's got my hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bump up this, and I'm going to headbutt him right with the side of my head in his face. I'm not using forehead against forehead, side of my head, and I'm bringing the head to me and shoving it down. In other words, I'm doubling the impact of the headbutt. You might have to do that a couple times. As soon as you do so, his whole face is going to start tearing, and you short-circuited his whole way of thinking. Right now, you're going to be able to push this off. Again, I'm going to be able to push this off, and I'm going to extend the hand. From here, this leg is going to hook. This leg is going to hook. If you're not that flexible, you're going to have to work on it, or just use it with the other hand to help you out. Again, I'm here. He fights it, fight it. I'm headbutting. 1, 2, extend it. Leg goes over. You got a problem with that? Bring it with your hand. From here, other leg is going to wrap around and create a triangle. All right? Now I get a freebie. The only thing I have to worry about him poking me in the eye here, but my hand is free. I can work here. I can break his fingers. I can hit him here. I am completely free to do whatever I want. From here, after I shoot him a few more times, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up my chest area into here. Okay? In reality, right now he's tapping out. In reality, he's telling me, you are doing great, keep going. In other words, remember, he taps out, that's for sport, you stop. In the street, he taps out, he's telling you, yes, keep going. What I'm doing here, I'll free his hand. What I'm doing here basically is I'm pushing my pelvis through and ripping his whole elbow out, completely incapacitate him. Again, I'm here. He fights, he struggles. I never got a chance to bring it here. I'm going to headbutt him 1, 2 times. Extend this in, hook it. Other leg hooks in. This is important. From here, I still give him a couple more shots to get him all his attention up here, and I'm going to simply rip here. As soon as I got rip here, I'm going to rotate myself, hands on the chest again, pop up, kick my way out, and out I went. You ended up in the side position. This time his hand is going to be right here. You can push the hand one here and tuck it in and choke him out. When you choke him out here, you're going to squeeze and keep turning that way to tighten up. Again, so if the hand is right here, shove the hand, pass it. That's basically passing the hand here. Put your head across, squeeze everything in, and start turning here to make it stronger. Again, if he taps out, he's telling you you're doing great, keep going. The next few segments are going to cover agility drills for you to build skills to be able to fight on the ground. A lot of people that hit the ground start panicking. It is important that you accustom yourself to movement on the ground so you can do your damage and get back up upstairs as fast as possible without you getting panicky or without you losing your orientation because there's somebody on top of you on the ground. Those are drills to build up your agility. The more you do them, the stronger you'll get, the more maneuvers you'll get on the ground, and it's only going to pick up your skills. The first drill will work like so. I'm going to keep my elbows in. My elbows are staying in. I'm going to ball myself backward and pick up upstairs and coming downstairs. Now, if you pay attention, I ball in, up I spring, ball back down, and down I go again. When I'm straight up, I'm going to try to freeze it and coming back down. Again, freeze it and coming back down. My elbows are staying in the whole time so I don't get used to push my hand out and it's going to catch me in arm bars. Keep it in, straight out. You can do that for about 10 repetitions, straight up and coming back. What basically you're doing, you're trying to point your tip of your toes to the ceiling and extend it as much as possible and coming down. Then you'll have the variation of doing this with a twist to the right, coming up, twist to the right, coming down, coming up, twist to the right, coming down, and finally the same drill, coming up to the left and coming down, coming up to the left and coming down. If you're getting real good at this and you want to have more variety of it, you can go up, twist, drop with a triangle, same thing, up, twist, drop with a triangle. In other words, you're starting to play with the agility so you can be upside down. Sometimes guys drop you on the floor, yank you up, and all of a sudden you find yourself upside down. If you panic and you have to turn yourself back up to continue the fight, you don't have a transition that you can fight from the bottom. So those are agility drills to make you more agile and make you familiar with an awkward position. That's the first drill. The next drill is the bridge drill. This drill is designed for you to dumping somebody to the side. In other words, somebody mounted you, and you're going to have the strength to dump him to the side. All right, watch the position. I'm starting here. In reality, he'll be mounted on you, and you'll have to do all kinds of little trick to get him off. But the drill is there to give you the agility to dump him. Okay, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to first go up, straight up. So I dump all his weight this way. And at the last second, I'm going to bridge to the side. Now, when I do so, I keep my elbows in so he doesn't catch me in an arm bar. I'm coming in up, and to the side. Now I stay on my shoulder. In sport, no holds bar, they do it on the head. You grind your head in the concrete, you're not going to look pretty at the end of this self-defense technique. I want it on the shoulder, up and right here. You're going to hold it for a few seconds, roll back, and switch it to the other side. Now you can do sets. In other words, you can count 7 seconds. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 7. Switch 1, 2, 3, 7. As you get better and stronger at it, you make the sets longer, more seconds or more sets. But the bottom line is that you are teaching your body that when something's on top of you, opala, I'm going to drop you over there. That's the bridge drill. The next drill is what I call the switch-based drill. This drill is designed for you to switch the leverage and switch the position using your hips. There's 2 levels in the drill. I'm going to start with level 1, going into level 2, and then I'll demonstrate how it can apply into a self-defense situation. Okay, you're going to start off with your 2 hands on the ground and your 2 knees on the ground. What you're going to do is you're going to take your right leg and kick it out this way while you're going to lift your left hand. And you're going to actually sit. From here, come back on 4, do the same thing on the other side. Sit. And here, it's a 4-count drill. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the beginning, you do that for a few weeks. Level 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's considered 1 set. You choose to do 5 sets depending on your level of fitness. 10 sets, 20 sets, it's up to you. So it's 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. When you get good at this, you pick it up to the next level. The next level will be me there, me there, me there, me there, me there. In other words, you never take a break in between. That's going to give you a workout and make you more agile. That's the switch-based drill. Okay, the drill you just saw will be able to apply itself in a situation as so. I'm here on 4. Sometimes you end up that way and your opponent just grabs you. Okay, watch the application of the drill. Right now, what I'm going to do to offset the situation, I'm going to pick up my leg right here as a base. As soon as I got that leg as a base, I can hug his own hand so he doesn't let go. From here, I'm going to shoot that leg this way, and completely overthrow him. From hit him here, turn over, and I got a side position. So the application of the kick through came about here. Again, he came in, and you're struggling. The guy's big, you can't get out. 1, 2, kick him off for you. 1 here, and basically you got out. That's what the switch-based skill is for on the ground. As you just saw, I got thrown. If somebody throws you and you don't know how to fall, they will basically take over the engagement. You need to be comfortable with the fact that sometimes in the street, you're going to be thrown. If you fall the wrong way or you fear going with it, you might be damaged on the landing. If you get damaged on the landing, that fight is over. They will be programmed in stages to teach you how to properly fall. In martial arts, in combative training, still there are a lot of people who are fearing being thrown. They are fearing being thrown because they don't know how to fall yet. I'm going to teach you now a set of techniques that will teach you how to break the fall. In other words, how to absorb the fall without getting hurt. Now, are you going to feel impact when you're thrown? Yes, you're going to feel impact, but you're not being damaged. Therefore, it's going to momentarily shock you and you're going to feel it, but you're not taking out of the fight. You can still work from there. There's a point here that needs to be made. Turn around, please, Adam. What happens to your body when you fall properly is that the impact is done sideways. Sideways. You're not falling on top of your spine. In other words, you're not unfolding your whole body along your spine. Your spine will get contact only for 1 split second. Okay, and the way you fall is that the spine getting hit is going to be right at the center, and your muscle system will actually give you some of the cushioning within that. If you fall straight in onto your spine, any little rock on the street, any little object will damage you. It is important that when you fall, you feel a whoosh or you feel an impact going down this way. So this you can handle because there's meat, and your skeleton system here is okay with it to absorb it. Your spine does not absorb the shock. It is important that you understand that. Okay, this will start from basically being completely on the floor. What I'm going to do is I am going to bend my legs. I'm not going to trust them. I'm going to bend my legs, and I'm going to cover up my face. From here, I'm going to slap. Well, now, when I'm slapping close to my body. Do not slap away from your body. You're going to teach your body to whiplash itself into the concrete. In training, most people use mats, and mats are forgiving. You make a mistake, you bang the mat with your head, no big deal. You bang your head on concrete, that's a concussion. You have a concussion, fight is over. So again, I'm covering up, and I'm slapping close to my body. When I slap the floor, don't slap it this way. Slap it inward. What will happen is you're going to have a tingling pain going down your fingers for 1 second. No big deal. You can repeat that about 10 times each side, then both sides at the same time. Both sides at the same time. That will be the first stage. You should do this in your training on a regular basis, 10 repetitions each side at the first level for a few weeks. After you get familiar and you feel comfortable here, you bring it up to what we call sitting position. Now I'm sitting up, and I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my legs and swing them sideways and slapping to the side of my body. So I'm slapping to the side of my body. If you pay attention, my head never touches the mat. Even when I'm thrown from up above, I make sure this programs me that my head won't get banged on the mat. Again, you're doing on this side, and backward. If you pay attention, I tuck my chin in, and I don't let my head touch the mat. That's the second level. You do that for a few more weeks. Then finally, you go up to what I call the turtle position. You're right here. What you're going to do is you're going to kick the right leg up front and let yourself collapse and slap the mat. Again, if you pay attention, I'm here and not here. If I slap here, I'm going to whiplash into the concrete. I'm right here. My head never touched the mat. My other hand protects my face. The same thing will repeat itself on the other side. I can kick my left leg and then collapse here. Head doesn't touch the mat, slapping here instead of over there. And finally, you can do it straight backward, and head does not touch the mat. That is the third level. If you incorporate that in your training, when you've been in takedown and somebody throws you, you're going to muscle memory automatically go into a tucking position and slapping properly. So when somebody throws you from upstairs, you'll be able to do it from upstairs, going with the right proper programming with the leg and with the feet and with the hand, so your head does not touch the mat. The problem with the head hitting the mat is that in the street, you got a concussion. You got a concussion in the street, game is over. Okay, now we're going to deal with falling forward. Falling forward will have two stages: actual falling and rolling forward. Okay, this brings us again by stages. You're going to start the training from a kneeling position. What you're going to do is you're going to end up throwing yourself forward. Now, it is very important here that you don't reach out with your hand like a push-up, because originally you're falling from upstairs, and if you do so, your forearms will break out this way, and it's important you do not so. If it's military-wise and you got equipment on you, you're not only taking the fall of your weight, you're taking the weight of all the equipment as well. It's definitely going to damage you. So what we do is we absorb it on the inside of the forearms, the inside of the forearms. Now, what will be done is that I'm going to actually turn into my fall, and the more point of impact I have to fall on, the more it can control and support my weight. If I go this way, all my weight is going to be on too small portion of my body, and that's why something's going to give. Either your wrist is going to break, or either your forearms are going to get completely dislocated. So I'm going this way. What I'm going to do is I'm coming in, and at the end, I'm turning it. Do not fall this way, because then the impact will be on the elbow, and you're going to have like an electricity shock. I'm turning it at the last moment, kind of like absorbing myself into the mat. So I'm here, I'm protecting my face, falling forward, and the last moment, I'm falling here. Now, it's important when you're falling to either turn this way or either this way. Don't fall straight up, because if the weight collapses, you're going to break your nose on the floor. So I'm going to choose either way where to turn. I'm coming here, turn here. From here, I'm okay. When you can do this good from this position, you bring it up here. Now, a lot of students are afraid to do that because of confidence-wise. But if you do level 1 for a long period of time, you can go slow and at the end do this, okay? Because what happens is you trust that you're okay with the turn. It's a timing drill of turning. Remember to turn your head this way or this way so you're not straight on. You only need to tilt it a little bit, so if you end up falling, it will just go on the side. You don't have to completely turn your head, just a little tilt, and if it happens, yes, it will be absorbed. That's falling if you're forced to fall. Okay, now that brings us to 3 different techniques. There is the roll, break, fall. In other words, I'm using it to break my fall. In other words, somebody maybe shoved me from behind and I feel I'm losing control and I'm got to roll and I want to stop myself from rolling. That's the first level. Then you got rolling and getting into what we call a military kneeing that you can actually deploy and shoot. And finally, there is rolling above an obstacle, and I'll show you in a second. Okay, so the first one will be done. You're starting off from the ground, and you're starting from this position. That's the first level. What you're going to do is you're going to put your hands on the floor this way, like fingers to finger, and you're going to point with your elbow where you're going to roll. You're going to propel yourself from the rear leg. In other words, you're going to push yourself from the rear leg. As you do so, you're going to roll and break the fall. Again, I'm doing a different angle. I'm here. Again, fingers are here. I point where I'm going to roll. I tuck my head in. I'm going to propel myself from the rear, and I'm pushing. As I'm pushing, if you pay attention, my body connects with the floor, again, diagonal across my back, so I don't go flat on my back. As I'm here, I roll, and I break the fall right here. Again, I didn't go here, so I whiplash. I go right here, protecting my face right here. All right, that's the first level, which is breaking the fall. Then you have going into a deployment roll. In other words, you ended up rolling, and you want to deploy. I'm coming here, from here, and I'm back right here. From here, I can deploy a gun, can deploy assault rifle, or can simply get up. So again, I can do it right here. From here, I got push, I'm losing my balance, I roll, but I want to deploy. In other words, a weapon. From here, I'll come here, and I'm back here into deployment. Finally, you got what I call the obstacle roll. Okay, somebody shoved you from back, and they really shoved you, and you are going to roll. All of a sudden, there is an object on the floor that if you roll on it, it's going to incapacitate you, or it's going to damage you, short-circuit you, and you saw it. Now, you have to have the ability to propel yourself above that object as you roll. Now, this is going to take a lot of training, and you're going to have to develop that. In other words, if I put my knife as an object here, and I got pushed, and I went into a roll, and this was an object that will basically incapacitate me. In the army, it's basically a mine. Maybe I saw there's a mine, and I'm going to have to propel myself above that mine. Again, as I'm coming down, what I'm going to do, instead of rolling on top of it, I'm going to anchor myself with my elbow. I'm going to anchor myself with my elbow and propel me above it. And from there, I completely avoided it. In other words, instead of me coming here and go, oh, whoa, and boom, I'm done, I'm going to have the ability to put my elbow on and go and come above and never touch it. That requires more skill. You're going to have to train more, but that's the level of falling forward, rolling, break the fall, and also deploy a weapon from rolling into a kneeing and going above it.